Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 111 and I have just recorded all of this without my microphone switched on, which is something that I've never really done before. I have one of those microphones that you can't really turn off, and it seems that I just somehow knocked my preamp and it completely switched the thing off. So that meant that for the first time ever on this channel, I have managed to do a completely silent introduction to a video. But anyway, welcome to it. It's now episode 111. That's the 3 ones, which is pretty impressive. I have to say that is much bigger than Hermitcraft Series 2. We got to 102 episodes, I do believe. And then before Hermitcraft Series 2, the longest series I had running, I think, was 15 episodes. So yeah, we're doing pretty well at the minute. But anyway, at the start of today's episode, I've got a few things that I want to mention to you. Number one is, of course, today we are going to be working on this fella over here. He is looking good. That is the Temple of Notch. We are going to be filling him up with redstone today, which should be fairly interesting. But also, I thought I'd mention that tomorrow is Black Friday, and I am going to be browsing Amazon. Basically, I'm going to be browsing Amazon like pretty much everyone else, looking for some camera deals. Now, ideally, I'd like to get a GoPro, and also some POV camera glasses things. I think they're known as like the gunner glasses or something like that. Want to get some of those because I want to start making car videos on the second channel. It's something that I've always thought about, I've always considered doing, and I was thinking the other day, if I could pick up this camera gear slightly cheaper, I'll do it. I will do it, and I will have fun with it because I love cars. Cars are my favourite thing in the world, and I want to share that passion with you guys on the second channel, I suppose. So yeah, that is basically the update for you guys there. So if you haven't seen the second channel before, would highly suggest checking it out. I'll put a link to that one down in the description. You've got plenty of things to look forward to on that one, I guess. But anyway, as you guys know, we are going to be working on the Temple of Notch in today's video, and we are going to be filling him up with redstone, which means I've got to gather up some resources. I've got most of it in my inventory. You can see we've got the comparators, the repeaters, the sticky pistons, regular pistons, hoppers, droppers, all those sorts of things. But the one thing that we don't have is we do not have any iron blocks. Now, I'm fairly certain I've got some iron blocks over at my base. However, I'm not 100% certain because I seem to run out of that stuff almost immediately. But one other thing that we need to do, which has been commented multiple times, is I have got to fill in this gap right here. Yes, I know, it's because you can't place blocks on the inside of a nether portal, so I never got around to doing it. So let's just do that, then drop through the ceiling. That's probably not my smartest route back in because I don't have a silk touch pickaxe. There we go. I hope you guys are feeling better about that one now. We'll cover up this gap here. And there we go. That is my nether hub room all done. Okay, so as you can see from my inventory, everything is pretty much sorted out. I've got a bunch of redstone. I've got all of the resources I should need. Apart from dispensers, I've just realised that one. So we're going to have to craft up a few of those. But other than that, yeah, I've got all the iron and things, so we shouldn't have any issues with placing down the redstone. I'm not using wool for all of the circuitry here, which means that it's probably going to be quite confusing on the eyes. But considering I've built this thing before, and I'm just going to be copying from that world, essentially, block for block, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. So I think the way that I'm going to record this one is I'm going to do a combination of progress updates and also a few time lapses and things, because this is it's a big complicated redstone project. I don't think I've ever done a redstone project as complicated as this one in terms of compactness and density of redstone and things. I don't think I've done one at this compact and things inside survival. So it's going to be an interesting project. I don't know how long it's going to take to build this sort of thing in survival, but I'm just going to start chucking down some blocks, chucking down the red stuff, and hoping for the best. Okay, so first progress update of today's video. I have created all of the circuitry to create the dual edge monostable circuit that deals with the opening and closing of the tier ducts, which is a very complex sentence that I didn't really expect to be saying, explaining a redstone contraption. But as you can see right here, if we hop up like this and chuck down this redstone torch, we get ourselves a 1-tick pulse through that redstone, and if we take out the redstone torch, we get the pulse extension, and then we get another 1-tick pulse. Now what that will do is it will open up the pistons here, so these pistons will extend and retract really quickly, pulling down the blocks, allowing the water to flow out, and then they will also push up after the pulse is finished, causing the tiers to stop. So that's basically what's going on here, which is one of the simpler circuits of the entire build. So yeah, now we just have to link it up to everything else. So that explanation just then was completely terrible. That was absolutely awful. So I've decided to add in the next part of the circuit, which is hooking up these pistons right here. Now imagine that air block right there, that is a water source block. And if we place down this redstone torch, these blocks retract, water flows out of the eye sockets, Notch is crying, it's all very sad indeed. And when we take out the redstone torch, Notch closes his eyes, and the tears go away. That's basically what happens there. So that is that circuit. This is all of the circuitry that deals with that tiny little action there. So you're probably starting to understand just why there's so much redstone. So the way that I'm trying to do this thing is I'm trying to do it using circuits. So instead of going from bottom to top and things like that, I'm trying to do it in a way that makes sense, which I don't know if that's the smartest way of doing things, because I seem to be getting myself into a bit of a muddle right now. But what I'm currently working on is I'm currently working on creating the randomizer circuit. So you can see right now I've got myself a non-stackable item. I'm going to chuck that in that dropper right there, along with a stackable item. And then we have our two possible outcomes. You guys have seen this before hundreds of times on my channel, so I don't really need to explain it, but we've got our two possible outcomes. One of them links into this piston right here, which links into this redstone using this redstone block. And that goes into our dual edge monostable circuit pulse extender thing, which controls the tier ducts of Notch. So we have half of the negative outcome done, I think. I think we've done half of it. Of course, we have to link that output into that area over there as well. And we have to do a bunch of stuff, basically. But it's going quite nicely. We are making some serious progress here. And so far, a creeper hasn't destroyed anything, which is absolutely brilliant. Progress update number 3, I have done a pretty large part of the circuitry right here. We have got the input circuit, which is this pulse extender right here, which runs into the randomizer circuit, which then runs down potentially into our tier duct circuit or into the other side of things. But then also, I have got this circuit right up at the top here, which deals with the opening of the eyes when you first hit the button. So you hit the button, Notch opens his eyes, and then he either winks or cries, depending on how good your luck is, I suppose. So that is, that's everything at the minute. I don't think there's anything else that I've missed. So next up, we have got to link up the good outcome up to this eye right here, so that Notch performs a wink. And then, yeah, the list is still quite long, so I'm gonna get cracking. So guys, I have got some good news and I've got some bad news. First off, the good news is the fact that I've added in a bunch of circuits. So we've got the winking circuit that goes up like that, right into the right eye there. And then also I've got the ending circuit, or the closing circuit, I suppose you could say, which this is the beginnings of it, but I'm going to be working on that in the next couple seconds. So as far as progress is concerned, we are doing absolutely fantastically. I'm flying through this build. I've only made a couple of mistakes. I've had to rebuild a handful of things because I got them in the wrong place, but that's nothing too bad. Nothing too bad has happened, so I'm still feeling really positive about this one. The bad news is, though, is that I've begun to go a little bit crazy. I don't know what's happened, but for some reason, survival redstone and just flicking between screens and things, it begins to send my brain a little bit mad. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to step away from my computer for the next couple seconds, have a drink of water or something like that, and basically sort my eyes out. I don't know what that is. I don't know what happens there, but it's just, I think it might be just looking between screens and trying to compare things. My brain just doesn't seem to like it very much. It doesn't help that I've probably been staring at the screen for the past like 7 hours or so, because I've just been Minecrafting pretty hard today. But yeah, that's basically the update I want to give you guys. So let's crack on. I believe, in theory, I might actually be on the last circuit right here. If I haven't missed anything, I'm on the last circuit, which is very, very exciting indeed. So this is the closing circuit, and thankfully my craziness has passed. I don't know what that was all about, and I don't know why it occasionally happens, but sometimes when I'm doing survival redstone and I'm copying from a redstone world or something like that, my eyes just begin to start really aching, and I have to take a step away from the screen for a little while. Let me know down in the comments section if you guys get that, or if I've got some form of lethal medical condition, because that would be really quite bad. But anyway, this redstone torch tower needs to go up like this. And then we just need to chuck a block on top of that one. I think we might actually almost be done. Yep, redstone there. And then the repeater that goes up into the block, everything's lined up properly, so that's looking pretty good to me. It's just a block up like that, then that runs back into the monostable circuit, which will close Notch's eyes once again. Seriously? Have we done it? I mean, we still need the slime blocks, and we still need the water. Obviously, I'm not going to add in the water just yet. That's always a good rule. If you've got water inside a redstone contraption, don't add it until you're certain that everything is going to be working. But yeah, we need the slime blocks in there. But you know, this is actually looking complete. I'm going to give it a once over, and I'm going to quickly check all of my redstone and things, make sure that nothing is going wrong or anything like that. But I think the brain behind Notch is now all completed, and I didn't even do a time lapse. I do apologise for that. That went much smoother than I was expecting. So I've just gone on a bit of a resource gathering mission. I've grabbed myself a bunch of slime blocks, so they are now all in place. So now what I have to do is I have got to link up this input line right here. And this is sort of the moment of truth. This is where we find out if this redstone mechanism is actually working, which I'm super nervous for, as always. I'm always nervous for this sort of thing, but especially on Hermitcraft with this build, I really want it to work first time. That would just be a dream come true. So let's see. There is the notch face. Let's give it a bash. We hit the button. Eyes have opened. Both sets of eyes have opened. The tears have come. So it looks like, yeah, we got a bad one. And then, are the eyes going to close? Yes! Okay, that's a good sign. Right, let's try it again and see if we get a good one. It was the eye sockets again, so that means that, yeah, Notch is crying. We got ourselves a bad one. I really want to get a good one and see if this is actually working. I seriously do hope it is. That one, and let's see if he winks. No, we're just really unlucky. Notch just clearly hates us. I'm going to play around with this for a little bit longer and try and work out if this is actually working or if we're just getting seriously unlucky with what we're up to right here. So I managed to get myself a wink, but it was really, really fast. So I've messed around with the piston timings a little bit to see if we can make that work. I can guarantee I'm just going to be unlucky again, once again on camera. But let's see if we can get another wink, and I'll see if it's a little bit slower, I suppose, because that was like the fastest wink I've ever seen in my life. So let's just pop up to the top. Hopefully we can get a good view here. It's still pretty quick. Is it too quick, though? Why is the pulse extender not working? That doesn't make any sense. I seriously can't work out why my pulse extender isn't working. Let's see. Okay, we got the tear ducts that time. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be working. I don't fully understand it. I have a pulse extender in place that should be extending the pulse a little bit so that our wink is a little bit longer. But it still seems that Notch is doing like lightning speed winks. And the redstone is exactly the same as it is in the testing world. So maybe, just maybe, I'm thinking it could be lag or something. Surely it's not redstone tick lag. I mean, that doesn't affect this sort of thing. We're just so unlucky. I can never capture this stuff on camera, but I can't seem to fix it. That being said, though, Notch is still winking, so it still definitely works. Now we just have to link up the outputs to our area over here, and then we're good to go. Okay, so here's what I've done. I have basically done a bunch of mining. So if we just take a look around the back here, you can see that we have got a big open area. It's 5 blocks wide, and that's to allow for 3 separate redstone lines. We need the input line, we need the output good line, and the output bad line. That's basically it. So the output good line is going to hook into the droppers and things, which are going to chuck out all of the gifts. And then, of course, the output bad line is going to drop the hermits down into wherever they're going to be going. So that's basically it. And I know there's going to be some of you sat there thinking, why have you not used redstone torch towers for this? It's simply because on the one way, of course, our input has to come from that side and go up here. But then our 2 outputs have to come from this side and go up like that. So I thought it would just be so much easier to just do everything in one long tunnel and have it all a bit like a little channel tunnel, I suppose you could say. We've got the channel across us here, and then we just go under and up. Now this is going to be really difficult to see, but I have hooked up all of the redstone, I believe, for the bad outcome. No, the good outcome. I keep getting mixed up. The good outcome. So we need our droppers to be firing, and we should be able to see from that tiny redstone dot over there. If that starts flashing, then we've done a good job. Is that flashing? It is! It totally is! Hang on! Hang on! I couldn't see it originally. I didn't think it was. They're flashing! Excellent! Alright, okay, so we've done that. That's really, really good. I haven't managed to mess up there. Okay, let's link up the other ones. So the redstone for the bad outcome is now all linked up as well. We've got a redstone torch tower going up like this. And one thing that I will say, you know, earlier on I was saying that I hadn't messed up yet. That's before I'd realised that I'd actually managed to make this tunnel 4 blocks wide as opposed to 5 blocks wide. I have no idea how I've done that. Clearly I'm still going crazy today. But anyway, let's give this thing a go. If I can make my way up to the top where the redstone is, we have got to try out and see if this redstone reaches and also if our trapdoor works. So let's take a look, light up the redstone, and we should see that all of that redstone there is powered. And that's how we want it. So we're going to need to invert this redstone signal right here. But of course, if we unpower it, we should see that all of this will unpower. And it does it pretty quickly as well. That's pretty good. Awesome. Sweet. Alright, well, now what I've got to do is I've got to mine out this entire thing. Once again, just one block wider. And then I've got to input the input line. Okay, I am doing the final redstone now. I'm running the output line from our bad side into the redstone that links up the trapdoor. So that's basically what I'm up to here. And this one needs to be inverted, so we'll do that in the next couple seconds. I guess I could do that on this corner right here. And then we just need to run our redstone around like that and into this one, and we should see that our trapdoor is now all closed up, which is exactly what we need. Alright, okay. Here goes, I guess. I mean, I'm a little bit worried right here, but I think I've linked up the input. I have done everything that I possibly can. So, I'm going to kill this zombie. We're going to stand on the platform, and we are just going to have to hope for the best. I'm really nervous right now. I haven't really been this nervous for redstone contraption in a very long time indeed. But we hit the button. The eyes are open. Oh, Notch is looking scary. Now, I'm going to stand away from the platform today. We got a good one. We got a good one then. And let's see, do the eyes close? Are the eyes going to close? Yes, they are. Notch is working. We hit the button again. Let's see what happens. Eyes are open. I'll check for creepers and things. Oh, and that's the tear ducts there. So if we had water in place, which is something I still need to do, water would have flown down his face there, and he would have looked really very sad indeed. Excellent. We've actually done it. I just realised something. That trapdoor didn't open, did it? It didn't open at all, did it? Let's see if we can do that again. I might have celebrated a little bit too soon there. Yeah, no. Ah, that's a shame. Right, okay, I'm going to have to try and work out what's going on with the redstone here. It shouldn't be too complicated. I think we'll be able to fix this one. Okay, I think I have found the solution to the problem. This redstone line was too long, it was far too long, and it wasn't powering this block. I've also added in a pulse. Okay, I think I found the solution to the problem. We've got a pulse extender now, and we also have this repeater right here, because that redstone line was a little bit too long. So, now let's try. Moment of truth, take 2. Let's give this a bash. Once again, we hit the button. Notch should open up his eyes. I doubt I'm actually going to be able to see any of this because I'm now on fire, which isn't particularly helpful. But, oh, there's a trapdoor. The trapdoor works. The build works. Notch is up and running. I'm on fire, which isn't brilliant. But Notch is actually working now. We have all of the redstone. Oh, oh, oh. That was so scary. I thought I was going to round off the episode today with a creeper explosion in front of all of this. There's so much redstone under here as well. That would have I would have quit. Because as you guys can tell, I have gone a little bit crazy today. I don't know what's happened to me, but I've gone completely mad with this project. I don't know what it is about survival redstone, but my brain just isn't wired for it. My brain just thinks, you know, can't you just fly up here, place down these blocks? Oh, why do you need to gather resources for that? You can just get it from your creative inventory. It drives me nuts having to gather things and actually have to like jump around and place scaffolding blocks and also not have wall blocks. But it's done. We actually got there. And I'm super chuffed with the fact that we have got the Temple of Notch up and running. Now we just have to do all of the pretty stuff. We have to do all the things that make it look nice. Of course, cover up that open area there. Do some decorating over here. Cover up all of this redstone as well. And fill in the droppers. And also the mouth because, yeah, that's a little bit strange. But that, unfortunately, is all going to have to wait for the next episode. Because sadly, I have run out of time. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.